Bob Joyce controversy, honest talk. And we've gotten quite a bit of comments, 80 comments as I talk to you right now in the thread. It's one of the more interesting threads, and yet it's kind of a sad thread as well. It appears we heard from Dave Blaze in the thread. He is the owner of George Magazine. Gene Ho is the editor-in-chief. Of course, in the video that I just referred to, we talk about Gene Ho's open video to Pastor Bob Joyce. He attended Household of Faith for somewhere around 3 years, and in the fall of 2025, he left, and he says he left quietly. He was just going to move on, but there's been people spreading lies, he said, and he went to the pastor, had dinner with the pastor, and these lies, he says, have continued to spread, including at the church Christmas party. So, I never have verification. This is actually Dave Blaze, but I believe it is. I believe it is. And in his video, Gene Ho quickly invoked the name of Dave Blaze, so he does have a right to respond to this, saying that people are calling him a scam artist or whatever. Gene didn't elaborate on that, so it just kind of led more confusion into trying to understand what was being said here. Dave Blaze said this is not normal church drama. This is outside influence and lies coming from a former contract worker of George Magazine. See, this is getting more complicated, but not fully explaining things. She aligned with an older couple in the assembly there at Household of Faith, as the wife in the older couple is also from the same state. Okay? This former contract worker who has not been at George for 2 years spreads vicious lies and rumors to the older couple, and then they gleefully spread those lies to others in the congregation. So there's people reporting to Dave Blaze on what's happening. Of course, nobody knows the intent of someone's heart. Man can't look on the intent of our hearts. Only God can. The older couple are also preying on some that are unwitting but desire to fit in. We know who they are, but now we are also looking at Bob, as Bob may be the ringleader. The older couple are also preying on some that are unwitting but desire to fit in. We know who they are, but now we are also looking at Bob, as Bob may be the ringleader of all of this after benefiting greatly from George Magazine. Really? Bob is not Elvis, and no one wants to pay big money to see an older Elvis impersonator. So now the flesh is coming into play here, because we're getting personal. Then he also added in a separate post, Nicolas Cage was never at Sabrina's house. Ridiculous. We talked about Best Pancakes in the County, starring Nicolas Cage and Justin Long and others, filming a scene at Sabrina's house. Now, here you have an Academy Award-winning actor. Filming a scene at Sabrina's house, and sure enough, we have pictures with Nicolas Cage, Matt Joyce, I believe Sabrina Joyce. She changes her look, so sometimes is that Sabrina? You have to look. Women do that; they change their look, and it happens all the time with the television anchors. So, uh, also perhaps Sabrina's husband. And Bob Joyce is right there. He's not standing directly next to Nicolas Cage, but he's one person away. And so I got word that, yes, a scene from the movie, which I believe now has wrapped up filming, probably be out summer or fall. Uh, I got word that Nicolas Cage had done this, and then yes, it was at Sabrina's house. So Dave Blaze said Nicolas Cage was never at Sabrina's house. Ridiculous. Well, an inside source that I trust very much says absolutely he was, and absolutely he did film that movie there. Now, there's a diner involved in this movie where you have the best pancakes in the county, and who knows who some of the people will be that are sitting in that diner, maybe as extras. We'll have to see. I said just saw the footage with the film crew. That was new video that had been sent to me. Matt and Sabrina appear to be in it. Certainly Matt. And it did not look like AI, because everybody's going to say that today. If they don't agree with something, or if something doesn't fit their narrative, oh, that's AI. And the inside, one of the sources said that's because it was legit. The pastor has a responsibility to look into it. A good portion of this, because Gene talked about they were saying that he was drunk. Well, that wasn't drunk in the church on Sunday. That was an outside event from George Magazine. That was outside of the church. And sources are saying that it wasn't even people that attend the church. We get hot under the collar sometimes. We believe it's righteous anger. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I certainly understand if you feel your reputation is on the line, and you have to respond. So one of the inside sources of this story, whom I trust, said this in the thread. My comment here is directed to Dave Blaze. You, more than anyone, are causing the most reputation and respect lost towards Gene. We love Gene Ho and his precious family. But Gene's video, directed towards Pastor Bob, is biblically out of order. He should take it down and apologize privately and publicly to Pastor Bob and the church. The Bible tells us as Christians we are to go to our brother in private, once, then twice, then with a witness if we have a grievance against our brother. Rachel doesn't even go to Household of Faith. That seems to be a key name in this story. I have no idea who that is, but I assume they do. Gene's alleged drunkenness happened publicly at your and his George event on a Saturday night when the stage bands were being introduced, presumably by Gene. There were many witnesses present, and it was publicly posted by the band on the George Magazine site until it was taken down shortly after that. Pastor Bob cannot control how his church members react to this sort of behavior. You are simply trying to hurt Pastor Bob and damage his ministry. Dave Blaze, I, in unison with my sisters and brothers in the Lord, pray for the angels of the Lord to surround Pastor Bob and protect him from the hurt you are seeking to inflict. I also declare here that God gives us power to tread over serpents and render their venom harmless. You are a nasty, angry person, and it's very serious when you start falsely declaring there is witchcraft in Household of Faith. So he has, according to this source, said other things as well. I have not seen everything Dave Blaze has said. I only know what he has said here in the thread. I have no idea of the validity. Never met the man. Never seen the podcast. Don't know what he is like. I have not been privy to that. So that was some of what has been said. Pretty strong stuff when you start to call Pastor Bob in effect the ringleader of deception. That's a very strong statement. Pastor Bob has been invited to do several columns. He's been on the cover of George Magazine at least once, I think twice. And he's been invited to the two George Magazine live events. He was there on Saturday greeting people. I think this last time he was at the Friday night VIP dinner. And on Sundays, he brought the Household of Faith Church to the George Magazine live event. It was totally free, the church service on Sunday, and he got a big crowd the first time. The second arena was bigger, and I think attendance at the second George Magazine live event was not as big. So it's a long way to go for people, and some people that are of limited income. I just know that we have to be real careful when we start calling Pastor Bob the ringleader of deception. And Gene Ho did not do that. But now we're looking at Pastor Bob. Again, you don't get to dictate your will to the pastor. He takes it to prayer. He investigates it. And I believe with all my heart that Pastor Bob is a true man of God. Throwing in things like people won't come to the church to see an Elvis impersonator. So in other words, he's got to keep it kind of, somewhere hanging in the air. He'll make a denial, but he won't mention the name Elvis and what have you, and he'll joke about it a lot and things like that. I understand in my recent live, if not in the initial video about the honest talk about the Bob Joyce controversy, I did say I think there's a need for more clarity. I think Pastor Bob faces a lot of catch-22s